Hello, I'm Rhiannon, this is Nacho.
And I'm Katrina, and we are volunteers at the Malvern Spa Association. We are bringing you this channel so that we can provide you insights and education on Malvern's famous spring water. We're going to be going on adventures and taking you with us to discover wells old and new.
This channel is going to be very authentically us. We're going to work it out as we go along, so it's going to be an adventure in itself, just seeing where the channel takes us, really. Hopefully it'll be entertaining because we find ourselves hilarious. It will definitely be chaos because we're bringing Nacho around with us, and his nickname is the Chaos Monkey. So we're going to not only be exploring some of the wells and the springs, but we'll also take you around Malvern. We'll talk about the really key eras in Malvern's history. So talking about the Celtics, the Victorians, and some of the spiritual aspects as well. And in doing so, we'll be learning, and we hope that you'll learn something with us and enjoy our adventures. Should we go on our first one? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Coming down off the hills onto the Witch Road and going towards our first destination with a couple of stops on the way. Okay, so we've just got to the bottom of our first hill, and Rhiannon, who you will discover is the main brains of this channel, knows of our first well. So this is exciting. So on Lower Witch Road, this is Weaver's Well. Okay, wait, well. Oh my god! Oh, bless him. Well, believe it or not, this well wasn't actually originally for bathing dogs. They think that it was probably here to feed carriage horses, but the water is tried and tested as a good bath for Nacho. I'd say that he wouldn't do it again, but he'd have to have a second brain cell for that, so can't guarantee, bless him. So on this walk we have not only discovered new wells that we hadn't come across before, but also some new walks. So this is a path that we've not taken before, which goes straight onto Wells Road as we made our way to our next little detour, which was Ellerslie Fountain. So this one isn't a spout coming out of the wall, is it? This is, I think whenever we say well, a lot of people will have the same image. But this, it doesn't look like that. No, so it is thought that this fountain did supply water to houses. There was once a trough, and the Malvern Spa Association hopes to restore what the fountain used to look like. But because it's right next to the main road, it's a bit risky business for that project. So watch this space, I'd say. For our first destination, it seemed quite appropriate to visit the face of Malvern Spa Association, which is Malvhina. So Malvhina is in Great Malvern. The word Malvhina is derived from the same word that Malvern has come from. So that's a Celtic term that means smooth brow or bare hill, and in Scottish folklore, Princess Malvhina was often a princess or a warrior in stories, which I thought was quite nice. But the name is associated with strength, beauty, and otherworldly grace.
which I thought was so lovely and very appropriate for Malvern.
That is very cool. So we're taking the main road route into Malvern for this first one. We will usually have lots and lots of beautiful nature and be exploring the hills in our videos, but we really wanted to take a look at how beautiful all the views were on the way, for one, but also start diving into the history, which you can see amongst the architecture.
So this building is the Tudor House. It was a hotel built for Dr. Gully's male patients.
Male patients only?
Yeah, they get a special house. And then they felt sorry for the women. No, I'm just kidding, I don't know if that's the reason. But it's attached to Holyrood House, which is for the female visitors, by the Bridge of Sighs.
Oh, that's nice.
So these buildings were built on a prolific spring. There is a well in the basement, and that became known as the Tudor Well and Baths, and they had some treatments in these hotels.
Do you think people would have dug through their floors to go looking for wells?
100%, yeah, that was definitely something that was done. I'm sure we'll find out about more wells that have come up through people doing this.
So as we come into the top of Great Malvern, we pass the Abbey Hotel, which owns the Promenade Gardens. And now this used to be a public space, as it features a natural spring water fountain that tourists would come and visit. What is now first page. Originally that was the stables for the visitors to the water cure to put their horses in.
Oh, so the horses, that's not where they put the visitors then.
No.
So here we are crossing a road and walking up some steps. So we're approaching Malvhina, but we're going to have a little sneaky detour before we actually get to her. Malvhina is situated on Belle Vue Island, so she's right in the middle of the town and surrounded by all these very interesting historic architecture.
Woo!
So the first one being the Lloyd's Bank, which was originally the Crown Hotel, which was the first hotel for the water cure treatment from Dr. Wilson and Dr. Gully.
So some more moments captured in history. What was the Barclays Bank was first built as the Royal Library, and just next to it, what was most recently nationwide, was the Coburg Pump Room and Baths, and just from that was the Foley Arms Hotel. And all these buildings were all built because of the area becoming increasingly popular in the 1850s.
So before we delve into Malvhina,
keep waiting.
Let's have a little walk over here and have a look at another sculpture that was by Rose Garrard, who's also the creator of Malvhina. So this is the Enigma Fountain. So this has been created to celebrate Sir Edward Elgar's music, the Enigma Variations, which was written in the 1900s in Malvern. So the variations themselves are made up of 14 sections, and each musical portrait of a local friend is represented as an enigma only by their initials, which is presented at the base of the fountain, and it's standing right next to Elgar himself as a bronze figure.
Okay, so the finale for our very first video. So Malvhina was created by local artist and sculptor Rose Garrard in 1998 and was the first public drinking spout in the town in 30 years. So she's been sculpted in stone and bronze beautifully. The design incorporates elements representing the 3 springs that supply the spout, which is Happy Valley, Ivy Scar and Rushy Valley. It also represents 3 roads that meet here, and also the 3 most important periods of time in Malvern's history, which is the ancient Celtic origins, the coming of Christianity and the growth of Malvern town in Victorian times. I really love that Malvhina is represented as this beautiful feminine figure. It's also a nod to in the Celtic times there were a lot of statues and figurines that were found around the country that were normally statues of females giving birth, and they represent giving life. That is also reflected in Malvhina as she is obviously producing water. Malvhina is also a popular collection point for the spring water. People come from all over the place. Obviously locals will come here to fill up their bottles and drink it, but also use it in recipes. Some of the local businesses, it's been used for all sorts of things over the years, hasn't it? So we'll be discovering that later on in our series.
Yeah, hopefully we'll discover some businesses that utilise the spring water in their products in this series. Malvhina is a fairly recent spring well compared to the others, but it is safe to drink because the water's passed through UV and carbon filters. So whereas some of the other springs that we drink from are fresh from the rocks, this one is filtered, but at least you know that it's all safe to drink, and many visitors utilise that, and it's very tasty, don't you think?
Yes, it's very tasty. Thank you so much for watching our very first video for the Malvern Spa Association. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
So obviously we wanted to go straight to quite famous points of Malvern first of all, but there's so many exciting things to come later on in the series, so please do like and subscribe.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to discovering places that we have never been before, which is a bit crazy because we've grown up here and we're only just finding out about these places. So come with us and discover with us, and then share this with all of your friends so they can be really highly entertained and educated about Malvern Spring water.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you. See you next time.